My God, it is windy today. There's this like mental storm thing going on and it's very windy. Anyway, that's besides the point. I did some work experience earlier this year and it sort of opened my eyes to something. I worked at this, I won't say where it is just in case the people watching are watching. Doubt they are, but just in case they are. I went to work at this place and everyone was just depressed. Everyone was just depressed. I went into this, like no one was really doing anything. The staff weren't doing anything. And their job was to literally basically do nothing. And it just made me feel really, it almost made me feel good because I wasn't that type of person, if you know what I mean. I wasn't in that situation because I'm always, like making videos, trying to grow my channel, trying to grow my arms, my biceps. I'm trying to, get better at speaking. I'm trying to improve, like in a video game. I'm trying to always progress to the next level. And these people are just sort of like stuck in this little bubble, in this little space. And they put themselves there, and now they're not trying to get themselves. I mean, I don't know the backstory. I'm just from observational point of view. That's what I saw, right? And we went into this little like staff room, I think it was, and there was this one bloke in there, and he was like sitting having a cup of tea, and he was just like this. That kind of like dead, zombified look on his face. And then I was just getting toured around the place. And this guy said, the guy who was drinking his cup of tea, he showed me this like board with like loads of stuff on it just to do with like the work and everything. And I remember pretty much everything he said was negative. Like every single thing he said was negative. And at one point he said, I can't remember if it was him or someone else, but someone said, I'll tell you what, you'll wish you have enjoyed school more, like high school. I hated high school, complete waste of time. But these people said you should have enjoyed it. And it just made me think, God, is this what life's about? Just sitting in this room with your cup of tea, just on your phone, and then that's it. And then you go home at the end of the day and you watch some more TV and then you go to bed and that's it. That's the whole day. That's not really life. That's existing, not living. It made me feel depressed. It didn't actually. It showed me what I didn't want in life. I was talking to my tutor the other day, my college tutor, about this, and it's quite a good experience. Not just doing work experience isn't just about doing stuff you want to do. It's about doing stuff you don't want to do, or like realizing what you don't want to do. Like my mum wanted to become like a lawyer or solicitor, and she went to do the job and said it was like the most boring thing ever. Obviously that's like personal preference, but she's glad that she did the work experience because now she knows that she doesn't want to do that, right? And it's the same sort of thing. I know that I don't want him to be in this specific place, in this specific position of this person who's depressed, drinking his cup of tea every day. I don't want to be there, so I'm going to work as hard as I can to get myself out of that, right? And I went to this recruitment event yesterday with my college course. So basically, I got paid for it. It was nice and sound. I had to sit behind this desk with one of the other people from the course and these like students from like year 11. So we're in like year 13 and the course is year 12, year 13. So the year 11s will be going into college and they could either go to a college or they could come to us as like a college course, right? And we went into this like big room and they had like a parents' evening going on, and once they finished the parents' evening, then they'd come over to us and talk to us about, joining the course. There were like about seven or eight stands. We were one stand, then they had like a different sixth form, then they had like a different college, so after the parents' evening, people would go over to there and talk to them. 2 people came up, not to us, across every stand. 2 people, we were there for hours, and I was literally just sitting there, doing nothing, for hours. We did get paid though, so I'm not complaining. But what I noticed, that I'm not trying to be like, I'm not trying to like attack anyone or anything. This is my observation, right? Almost every single person there, like the teachers, were overweight. Almost every, there was like 2 who weren't, which is ridiculous. And they all seemed just like stressed or like, oh, I've got to do this, then I've got to do that, then I've got to do this. You know, that kind of like attitude. I may be completely wrong, but that's just what I saw. And it's like, I don't want to be there. Not as in like, I don't want to be in that room, but I don't want to be those type of people. I don't want to be in their position. So sometimes it's obviously good to surround yourself with the right people in the right space. I'll talk about that in a minute. But sometimes it's good to actually go into places and do things, do experiences that you don't want to be in, just so you can see the polarity of the two and realize how much you actually, like, you have this desire not to be in there. Because the vast majority of people now just settle. You know, they just grow up, finish school, go college, go uni, get a job. I'll marry just like some random girl who's like, she's alright, I guess. Have some kids, yeah. Go out the pub, get retired at like 70 and die, yeah. Fantastic life. But some guys don't want to settle for that. And the fact that you're watching this, I'm guessing that you don't want to too, either. But unfortunately, the fact that you're not following that specific route that the world will set out for you, it means that you have a lot of people who disagree with you. And almost everyone I know disagrees with me. There was one guy who didn't disagree with me, who was on this like self-improvement journey, yay. But he essentially, I don't know what the right word for it is, dropped out, I guess. He stopped doing it. So that was a bit of a hit to me, because I didn't really have anyone then. I was like, oh, well, I guess I'm on my own now. And I still am, in terms of this journey. I still have mates and everything. I hang out with people, go to the gym, I'm always like, talking to people, dabbing them up and saying, oh, how you doing, and having a good time in the gym. But outside of that, and in terms of what I'm doing, like, if I show anyone my YouTube channel, they always think it's cringe and, oh, why are you doing that? Why are you doing that? And as I said before, I was talking to my tutor. He did this like little speech. And I'm going to be honest, I believe my tutor is the only person I genuinely respect that I know in terms of this space, this mindset. Because he does these things where he talks about mindset and stuff. And like, you know how like most teachers just talk about the work and say, right, do this work now, yeah, get it done, go. My tutor was talking about mindset. He said, right, just stop your work for like 15, 20 minutes and let's go over this thing. What was it? It was something to do with mindset. Fixed and what's the open mindset or something like that, right? And I knew it all before, a fixed mindset is where you're like, oh, I can't do it. And then an open mindset is a growth mindset is like, oh, I can't do it yet, but I will learn later, that kind of thing. And crabs in a bucket, all the crabs will bring each other down. But it's just mad that I actually have like a tutor who's telling me these things. Like I already know them because I've done like research and stuff, but having just like one person around you to remind you of these things. Like, I wasn't having a very good day, and then he did that little lecture lesson thing, and it made me feel like that. Yeah, actually, yeah, that kind of sensation, right? So having just even like one person is so important, because I feel like currently, right now, I'm not around the people I'm supposed to be around. They are nice people. I'm not saying there's anything wrong with them. I have good mates. I enjoy being with my mates, yes. But in terms of growth, in terms of this journey, I don't feel like I have anyone. Which sucks. But it is what it is. And I can't force it. I can't force it onto people. I've tried to do it before where I say, get onto self-improvement. You can do this, you can do this, you can do this. I'm trying to educate them, but it doesn't work. It really doesn't work. It worked for that one guy, but that was an absolute exception, and he dropped out anyway, so. unfortunately, on this path that you're on, if you're on this path, then it's going to be very lonely. It is going to be very lonely. But nonetheless, if you want to get to the position you want to be in and not be like that depressed guy with his cup of tea, or the overweight teachers who are too stressed to exercise and always like binge eat because it's like comfort food to them. If you don't want to be in that situation, then you've got to push through. There's literally no other alternative. You can either settle and have that life that you don't want, or you can push through, and it's going to be difficult, it's going to be challenging. Every part of it is going to be difficult. But then you'll get to where you want to be. And I'm saying this now with no success. But in the future, I'm not talking about like money success. Sure, I'll make money, but it's not like money success as in like, oh my days, speak please. As in Andrew Tate, I've got like the 900 grand Rolex and, I've got like a 10 million pound Bugatti and all that. I'm not bothered about that. I'm talking about being surrounded by the people who I really want to be around. Having like a body that I can use, so not only is it like muscular and attractive, but also I can physically use it. I can go run 10k if I want to right now. I've got like a perfect diet. I've got, I don't have to work a dead end job that I don't like and I get stressed and have to drink tea in a room alone on my phone. That's where I want to get to, and that's where I have to. I literally don't have any other choice. I don't know what else to do with my life. I don't want to do anything else apart from speak to a camera. I'm not gonna lie, I'm not talking to you right now. I don't know who you are. I don't know who's looking at me right now, but I am speaking to a camera right now, and that is how I'm gonna make this success. I've been doing it for about 5 years straight, and so far I've got nothing, but in 10 years I'll have it all, I hope. And even if I don't, I'd prefer to try. I'd prefer to die trying than not try at all. So sometimes you're in a situation that you don't want to be in. You're in a place you don't want to be in, with people you don't want to be with. But that's all part of it. You just got to accept it. If you're like still going on like video games with friends who are like, verbally abusing you, and then you go outside and meet up with these friends who do like drugs or something, then obviously just get them out of your life. You don't need them in your life. But things like school and college or whatever, or work or whatever, you're gonna have to be with these people, unfortunately. People who you don't necessarily like. And that's unfortunate, but you have got to accept it. And I'm not saying to just go and be toxic and be like the lone wolf and put your headphones on and never talk to anyone. Try and be as charismatic and happy as possible. I'm struggling with this currently, but I'm trying to be as happy and exciting and, interesting as possible. But it's very difficult when you're not with your right people. But just try your best, get through it. And then eventually, if you keep being on this path, you'll meet other people who are on the same path as you. And at that point, trust me, when you've got just one person who is on your side, it makes the absolute world of a difference, and you are physically and mentally unstoppable. But until then, soldier through. So I'm going to my dad's now, and hopefully we don't get blown over by a car, blown the car. Hopefully the car doesn't get blown over because it's very windy outside. So I will see you later. Good night.